The voice of the I Am is the mouthpiece through which the Ascended Master's instruction can reach the students quickly. That the most powerful work possible for America and the world may be done by the students to release the greatest light in the shortest time. It will also contain information as to where the accredited messengers, Mr. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard and son Donald, are teaching the Ascended Master's instruction on the I Am. Information. The information given under the heading of Young America will be the Ascended Master's help to the young people for their protection and illumination. As they are the builders of the new civilization and are the channels through which the Ascended Masters will give their light for the use of the outer world in the golden I Am age. This magazine is not an outlet for articles from the students, but is the outpouring of the help from the Ascended Masters and has no human concepts in it. The Sindalar Studios. Thou mighty, infinite, masterful presence, I am. Thou
Saint Germain's Discourse on the Violet Ray, September 1st, 1932.
Thou mighty, infinite, masterful presence, I am. Thou ascended Jesus Christ, the likeness of which is the master presence within each Son of God. We speak to thee everywhere. Pour forth thy radiant majesty through the mind and heart, thou mighty I Am presence. Let the temple of God in each one become illumined with thy holy presence, majestic in its conquering power. We give praise and greatly rejoice that at last the mighty conquering presence is to take full command of thy manifestation of all created things. And that peace on earth, goodwill to man, is at last to become realized and be made manifest man to man. It has come. The Discourse. I wish now to make it clear that you here and all who come under the radiation of this instruction from the Ascended Masters on the mighty I Am presence are those who have these many years come within the violet ray. The ascended presence of Jesus Christ, which is the I Am in each one of you, is steadily taking full command. Ere long, the great mystery of life, which is the mighty I Am presence, will be revealed in the heart of each one who comes under this radiation. Let no one be deceived. The great prophecies of the centuries, in fact, the end of the prophecies and their fulfillment is at hand. And from the fulfillment of the prophecies, God, having spoken through man, will arise the kingdom of paradise, of heaven upon earth. The period of the struggle of creation, in the throes of this new birth, will be swift and, to some, terrible in its mighty manifestation. But know that it will bring in its train peace, happiness, and the light of true understanding to the mankind remaining, which is sufficient to make everyone rejoice that through the centuries of this great expectation, the righteous reward and devotion to God in man is bringing its true fruition. From the passing of the eclipse of yesterday begin the changes of the great spectacle, enormous in its dispensation. While everything moves forward and will continue to move under divine order, yet the closeness of this surging inner Christ power, the mighty I Am presence, is as though impatient to take its full command. Try to have your students understand that the very fact of sincerely seeking the light of God, if sought with sufficient sincerity and intensity, will cause all problems of the outer to be quickly and normally solved. If individuals, finding themselves confronted by problems, would say, "Mighty God, in whom I recognize and feel thy full power of action, thou mighty I Am presence," solve this problem and do it quickly, then calmly enter into the stillness, the silence of that mighty I Am presence, they would find and soon feel the peace, certainty, and relief from that which they feel to be a necessary struggle in the outer to solve the problem. It is the feeling of struggle in the outer self that really causes the struggle. To pour forth that mighty love and devotion to God, always omnipresent, should without effort bring complete relief from all anxiety. To seek God merely to solve a problem but partially opens the door. but to seek God, the mighty I Am presence, with true sincerity and devotion for the light of God, would quickly cause all outer problems to be solved in peace and harmony, according to the recognition of the mighty I Am presence in action. Ask all those to whom you can convey the idea to be as conscious as their understanding will permit, that they are now held within the violet ray, acting under its beneficent radiance. Those who can should visualize this violet ray about them. Within its center, the qualifying presence of the soft pink of divine love, and no one of great sincerity should need aught else than this, to find all outer activity conforming to its mighty presence. To make oneself a true student of the light, the individual will hold unwaveringly the full consciousness of the mighty I Am presence, the ascended Jesus Christ, being the constant, invincible, and only acting presence and intelligence in his mind, body, home, and affairs. It is this steadfastness, no matter what the outer appearance seems to be, that most quickly brings the longed-for peace and freedom. Already upon the mental or invisible plane is spreading the Christ radiance, likened unto the dawn of a glorious sunrise. Within a few years, the radiance of that sunrise, which is of the great central sun, will ascend into the heavens of its eternal dominion. All who hold themselves steady with faith and confidence in this mighty light will find such individual revelations taking place as they, at this time, cannot possibly conceive. I want to assure you with positive conviction that these are not idle words, neither are they prophecy, yet shall you see them fulfilled beyond your fondest hope. Those who come under this radiance with their determination to receive the light will find themselves able to say, "Mighty Master, I Am presence, speak to me." And they will hear that inner voice as clear and distinct as you speak to each other. To those who will listen, I want to assure them that the opening of the sixth seal, which is at hand, will make the comprehension of these mighty inner truths clear in such a manner, the student will marvel that he has been on the periphery of this great truth so long, without more fully grasping its true meaning. Students and individuals should look within themselves and find wherein there have been unnoticed subtle things that are binding them. Each one should joyously open his heart to the truth that reveals to him the things which need to be remedied. Any rebellion within the consciousness should be put down as the great offense against God, the mighty I Am presence, that there may be nothing to interfere with the penetrating rays of this great light. As I have tried to impress upon your minds from time to time, it is not a matter of personalities, but it does mean to enter into the truth and live it. One of the most subtle forms of rebellion in the outer consciousness is concerning our little personal habits that we have formed through the centuries. As you pluck weeds from your garden, so should you pluck these habits from the outer consciousness. Pull them out by the roots that they have not left by which they may grow again. It is my great pleasure to put before you a mighty truth, namely, that those mighty sincere desires of individuals in some instances, where they seem to have been long deferred, may speedily take form, bringing with them their eternal blessing, that is, when they are righteous desires. The earnest student is ere long to know and understand the true meaning of the words of Jesus. I am the resurrection and the life. Each student should, in feeling himself within this mighty violet ray, meditate on this wonderful and mighty statement. I am the resurrection and the life now made manifest. Those beautiful souls who have so much loved the flower creation, ferns and shrubbery, will find such roses and many other flowers new to the earth, appearing from now on, and they will have such rare beauty that it will amaze and delight all greatly. At first, they will not be conscious of where these came from, but will find them appearing in the midst of their gardens. They will later find that the seed and presence was projected from other spheres than the earth. The lotus and new forms of the lily will come forth with such magnificence, beauty, and fragrance that their very presence will carry a vivifying, life-giving activity to the ones to whom they come. The marvelous change of the climatic conditions of the atmosphere will enable these flowers to be ever blooming. and the gardener and farmer of the days that are coming will find themselves no longer confronted with the struggle against weeds, as has been heretofore. New species of grass will come forth that will make your lawns like a velvet rug, and you will no longer be required to listen to the rattle of the lawnmower. That of which I speak will grow to a certain perfection where it will remain. This is but an intimation of some of the perfection that will be the joy of every sincere student of the light. Many will see some of this perfection, but will still find it necessary to go out and change bodies to permit the manifestation of their eternal perfection. But they will hasten to return, because they will find the here so like the heavenly world as it now exists, that they will not wish to linger there, but will want to get back into real action, as it were. The time has arrived when it is necessary to give forth some idea of this perfection, for the students who grasp the idea and begin to visualize that beauty surrounding them will hasten tremendously its presence into their life and environment. A very remarkable thing, that but few will be conscious of, is that the apples of this season will possess an essence in their substance which they have not heretofore had. Some other kinds of fruit will have this, but in a lesser degree. They are the peaches, oranges, and tomatoes. It would be well if, for a time, you ate 3 apples a day. This will throw off the sediment in the body without making it apparent. The more perfect tomatoes of this season have also contained this element that is being radiated forth. Question: will the plants of the future be free from vermin? Answer: Saint Germain. Most assuredly. All destructive force, when it reaches a certain point of activity, will destroy itself. To the human, or outer, it sometimes seems a long time getting to that point, but it is so and has always been so. Cosmic activity tolerates only so long man's inhumanity to man, or man's destructive activity to man. From this time on, no individual can gain wealth or the renewal of wealth without knowing that God, the mighty I Am presence, is the full source, power, and intelligence of its production and must be given full credit as the only producing power. No human effort, without the presence and activity of God, ever amounts to anything. Too long have human beings been the usurpers of that power. And even in the usurping of that power, the time has now come when it will no longer be available to them. Those who want to find peace, rest, and success must feel and, as it were, throw themselves into the arms of God, as a weary child would do to its mother, and there rest in the activity of that mighty inner presence, the I Am. Sanat Kumara's daughter naturally acts under the crystal ray. All of the ascended host, at intervals, work with Jesus. The name Kumara is a title, so think of it as an authority. The activity of the Kumaras is distinctly different from that of the masters from the central sun. While the Kumaras come under the activity from the central sun, yet their service to the earth is distinctly different. They are the ones who offered of all the 7 planets to take the earth under their supervision. As soon as the axis of the earth is changed, the Kumaras' work of countless centuries will have been practically completed. There will be a few years in which they will walk and talk with the students of light who are truly aware of their presence, which will bless the students untold who receive their friendly visit. There has never been such an opportunity in the history of the earth as at present for those who have any inclination to the light, and even for those who have not, to be raised enormously. This is the first time in the history of the earth that there has been a resistless impelling action of the Christ force. Naturally, the silent watcher would have to be one from the central sun, whose activity is independent of the Logos. Never lose sight of this fact for even a moment. Wherever we go in consciousness or thought, there we are. The student who becomes aware of the silent watcher and goes to him in thought cannot help but have a response. You can go out to these great ones in consciousness and say, "Speak to me." You can demand any constructive thing of your mighty I Am presence, and it will be done. The changes referred to above will come within the next 10 years. Heretofore, long periods for the upbuilding of the new activity have been required. This time, in a few years, there will be accomplished what heretofore has required centuries of work, because the mechanical perfection, for those who still require it, will not be lost as before. Following this, there will come aerial transportation that has never been equaled on Earth. It will be a still more perfect means of conveyance. The speed will hardly be limited because of the earth currents that make any speed possible. Atlantis had this to some degree, but it will come in its fullness now. Airplanes will be made so all danger will be eliminated. Donald, where are you going? Saint Germain, I am going home today. My present home is in the Alps. In some instances, the retreats will be changed and are already being transferred from one place to another. This present coming cataclysm will end the cataclysmic periods of the earth, because cataclysms only come through the destructive influence of the human, and when that is removed, there will be no longer a cause for them. EWB. What should one do to stop a fire? Saint Germain, you could call on the God of fire to consume it, or say, I, as the Christ, the mighty I Am presence, spread my radiance over it. Or you can command its obedience and visualize the pink light of divine love covering it. Benediction. Mighty I Am presence of the combined ascended host, thou light eternal. We give thanks for thy radiant, expanding presence, that thou art more and more pouring thyself forth into thy manifestation to the children of God, that thou dost dissolve all things unlike thyself, and dost release the pure activity of the individual self. Even so, it is done. Affirmation. Mighty I Am presence. Charge my being and world with Saint Germain's. The divine directors Jesus's and Nada's ascended master consciousness and marvelous directing intelligence, self-control, management, and perfection in all my activities, and keep them forever self-sustained. Light, light, light. Blazing, dazzling light. Seize us, raise us, hold us within thy heart so bright. Flood thy love forth through us, enfold us in thy might. Give all thy joy forever, and lift us thy height. Ho, wondrous, majestic, mighty I Am presence, thou heart of America, the glory of her achievement, her supreme directing intelligence. Bring about thy perfect achievement. O America, the cup of light for the future. We love thee with a love everlasting.
So here we have afternoon invocation, Shrine Auditorium, Los Angeles, California. Date is July 4th, 1936. This is given by Mr. G.W. Ballard.
Everlasting, that the great cosmic law should have chosen thee to be the cup of light. The great crystal cup filled with the pure essence of the light of God. Filled with its mighty intelligence, with its mighty release of the consuming activity, that all discord, all destructive thought and feeling shall vanish from the earth, vanish from the feeling and mental world of mankind, and that thou, America, dost stand forth the supreme example of eternal love for the earth. The glory of God is made manifest on earth, that all human semblance of less than perfection shall vanish forever from the earth. Even as the Declaration of Independence declared the freedom of America upon earth, so shall it now be extended for the freedom of mankind, even unto its ascension into the light of God, the heart of God, from whence the individual can manifest without limitation of any kind, and stand glorified as the ascended being, wholly free and master of his world and all substance. So, we rejoice in being able to give expression on this day to the record of freedom for America, to bear witness to that eternal glory which is approaching with great speed. Today, O America, do we love thee, beloved America, the sweetheart of the world. O America, the father of light to the nations of the world. Thou mighty being, of whom the goddess of liberty is the representation upon earth. Spread thy radiance, the national colors over America today, and let thy mighty glorifying energy be absorbed by every human being in America, glorifying the heart center with love and freedom for America now and forever sustained. No mot. What else seems to have an appearance? Every heart shall stand for the glory and the freedom of America now, and be brought into the eternal perfection of the I Am age, the perfection of the last golden age, the eternal I Am age upon earth. So today we bow before the majesty, the mighty intelligence, the mighty love that is making possible the freedom of America and the world. We decree in the name, light and power of the great cosmic law, the mighty I Am presence, the legion of light and the great host of ascended masters, that all destructive forces on the face of the earth be seized, bound, and held inactive, until they willingly and joyously serve the light, whether they be embodied or disembodied. Mighty I Am presence, great cosmic law. Legions of light and ascended masters seize and bind every condition, person, place, and thing that has destructive quality or intent of any kind, and hold them in obedience until all willingly serve the light. This is our decree for America and the world, backed by the mighty power of the great cosmic law. The great power of the mighty I Am presence, the governing intelligence of the universe, and the mighty host of ascended masters, the legion of light and the great host of angels, archangels, angel devas, and gods of the mountains, all joined in action for the protection and freedom of earth, and the glorification of that golden age which must come into activity now. Let all destruction he dissolved before this light, as the mist before the morning sun, and let the light of that glory shine forever in its dominion upon earth. Transcendent freedom. Gave their third specific decree for the complete.
The Ascended Masters on July 4th, 1936, gave their third specific decree for the complete freedom of mankind. Let's go.
Gave their third specific decree for the complete freedom of mankind and the earth. This forms the triple activity of their application of the great cosmic law, and before it no discord nor sinister activity can longer exist. This mighty decree is the freedom all mankind has been waiting for throughout the centuries. In order to open the way for the great cosmic law to act with sufficient intensity and speed, to give the complete release that must take place if humanity is to survive. It is the one thing that the whole earth needs most today, in order to let the mighty I Am presence have the greatest expansion of its light and love. Every human being on earth is benefited tremendously whenever this decree is issued for anyone or the whole of mankind. This mighty decree, which the Ascended Masters sent forth on the 4th of July for all mankind and the earth, released the first wave of its action that moment through every human body and the planet itself. Now it becomes the duty and privilege of everyone who understands the law and call to the from mighty I Am presence to issue that same decree at least 3 times daily until it sweeps forward with such intensity that it clears away all obstruction to the full expansion of the light within both the individual and the very earth itself. This mighty decree is the Ascended Master's command to legions of angels of the blue lightning of divine love to descend into the physical octave of earth, to seize, bind, and remove from within and around every human being, the earth and its atmosphere, all entities, carnate and discarnate. If they be carnate, to annihilate them, their cause and effect from existence forever. If they be discarnate, to take them to the ascended masters and offer them this eternal instruction of the mighty I Am presence for acceptance. If the discarnate ones accept it, they are taken to the schools of the ascended masters, shown how to apply this law and make their ascension. If they will not accept this glorious light and make conscious effort for their freedom, they are held bound until they willingly, gladly, and lovingly accept this eternal law of life and fulfill their own decree to make the ascension. When we refer to entities of human creation, we mean those thought forms created by human beings through discordant, destructive thoughts and words and energized by inharmonious feelings. These exist within the aura of every human being until he gives the command to his own mighty I Am presence to consume them. The use of the violet consuming flame, as Saint Germain has instructed, if used daily with intensity, will dissolve and purify all these humanly created entities. But when the student calls through his R.7 AM presence direct to the angels of the blue lightning of divine love, he can have the assistance of these blessed beings, whose duty it is to render help that the ascended masters decree, for all who make earnest call to complete their victory quickly. This does not relieve the students of the necessity of using the violet flame, as they have been taught, but it enables the flame to have much more instantaneous action and to release more power. When we refer to the discarnate entities, we mean those human beings who have passed through so-called death. If they do not call to God with enough intensity to draw the attention of an ascended master to cut them free from earth and take them to the octave of light, or if they have not the knowledge of the mighty I Am presence to which they can call and be taken out of the atmosphere of earth, they remain in the homes, localities, and atmosphere in which they lived while in the physical body. These are known as earthbound entities, for they do not know hot jut to make a call that will bring the assistance of the ascended masters to cut them free from their earthly appetites and conduct them safely through the earth's atmosphere to the octave of light. In that octave, they can be taught the great truth and law of the mighty I Am presence. Then, through their own conscious effort, they can reach up for the assistance that gives them the eternal victory of the ascension. The atmosphere of Earth is loaded with these discarnate entities. They are good, bad, and indifferent, some very vicious. They remain in the aura of the earth because their desires, being principally physical appetites, bind them here for further gratification. Why? Because they are still held within the emotional body, which does not dissolve at so-called physical death unless cremation takes place. If this is done, they are freed to go through to the octave of light for assistance. Not knowing how to get out of the earth's atmosphere, they attach themselves to those with whom they associated in the physical life, or to those whom they greatly disliked, many times to gratify their feelings of revenge, and even move about in the same houses or localities. If they have had vicious desires while in the physical embodiment, they can still gratify those desires from the psychic plane through the body of anyone who will let them stay in his aura. This is what accounts for all drink, smoke, and sex obsessions, insanity, cruelty, viciousness, intense anger, jealousy, suicide, continued discord, and destructive activity of every kind. Mankind and students in general do not understand this condition in the slightest degree, and hence do not make the necessary effort to free themselves from these destructive and disturbing conditions that cause all the tragedy on earth. However, the great law of life will not operate itself, and until individuals get the ascended master's understanding of its operation, there is very little permanent help for humanity until people can be taught the law. If all discarnate entities could be taken from the atmosphere of Earth, 97% of all mankind's troubles would be solved, letting peace and harmony reign throughout the world, to the great joy and freedom of the whole human race. And also to the blessing and freedom of the discarnates themselves. Students and all readers should remember that when we call angels of the blue lightning of divine love to seize, bind, and annihilate all humanly created entities, no one can annihilate God, which the life in every human being is. Neither can divine love annihilate a human body. Therefore, the only things that can be annihilated are the discordant and vicious thought forms which hang around the bodies of most individuals. These are the causes of all chronic diseases and limitations of every description. Such creations should be annihilated, and the sooner the better for themselves and the whole earth. Please remember, beloved ones, that angels of the blue lightning of divine love never annihilate human bodies. The entities and the discord do that. So, there is nothing to fear in using this application of the law and the call to the presence. People often say, "But my loved one that is passed on was kind, and I loved him very much." That is no doubt true, but do you realize how much energy is absorbed from your world by such a discarnate being? Energy that your mighty I Am presence gives you, with which you should expand its perfection. You are not helping the disembodied one by letting him hang around in your aura and absorb your energy, when he should be learning the laws of life and of the universe, working to free himself and gain his ascension. You are doing such an injustice. By enabling him to stay in the Earth's atmosphere, instead of calling your mighty I Am presence into action to take him through to the octave of light where he can be taught how to gain his eternal victory of the ascension. In regard to discarnate entities, they are responsible for all insanity, vicious appetites, vicious actions, crime, and contagious diseases. Many times, one's sense of physical exhaustion is due to nothing else but a discarnate entity in one's own aura, following him around and absorbing the energy from his physical body in order to survive. No end of business deals are blocked for years by some discarnate entity who does not want someone to succeed because of vicious feelings of revenge, resentment, jealousy, and all the other unkind feelings with which human beings are many times unfortunately filled. In one case, a man who had not been able to get a position for 5 years was told to dismiss all the entities in his body and world. He did as instructed with his wife's assistance, and within 24 hours obtained a most remarkable position, which he still holds, and that was months ago. This is the trouble in thousands of cases where people do not seem able to get work. If the students of the I Am and all readers of these books will do as the ascended masters have requested, in using these decrees, their own blessings will transcend their fondest dreams, and the assistance to mankind and the earth will surpass all description. You will have instantaneous relief from distressing conditions that have bound you for a lifetime or perhaps many lifetimes. Discarnate entities are also responsible for all mental and health conditions of long standings, always. To deny that these entities exist is but ignorance of the forces that are acting and which every human being is struggling under today, whether he be good or bad, wise or ignorant. To deny a thing does not remove it from existence or having an effect in the physical experience of individuals and the earth. Entities, carnate and discarnate, do exist on this earth, but through his call to the mighty I Am presence and the ascended masters, every individual has complete mastery over them and his world. He can clear all his activities from any such interference if he will make this call, as the ascended masters have requested the I Am students to do. They did this for the entire earth and mankind on the 4th of July. Such is our opportunity to serve. It is our privilege and our duty that the earth may be freed and we, ourselves, have complete mastery over all in our own individual lives and activities. Aside from the knowledge of the mighty I Am presence and the use of the violet consuming flame, this call to seize, bind, and remove all entities from the earth is the most transcendent help and blessing that can come to every person in the world, and will bring the earth into divine order through divine love, quicker than any other one thing that can be done in the outer life today. We plead with all the I Am students and individuals everywhere to use the following affirmations at least 3 times a day to keep your beings and worlds free from all entities, carnate and discarnate. Through this application, you will not only move forward in a world of perfection of your own, but you will help to lift the load that weighs heavily upon all mankind and the earth itself. For even nature suffers from these entities, and will not too long tolerate their interference with her perfection. They are the causes of all cataclysmic activity, which is but the recoil of their own viciousness, returning upon them and consuming them from the atmosphere of earth, that mankind may have a fresh start to make further effort toward perfection. By the time the students have used these affirmations for a few weeks, they will find their affairs moving forward with great speed, and no further interference from intermittent discord that constantly distresses them. With the intense call to the mighty I Am Presence and ascended masters to send angels of the blue lightning of divine love to seize, bind, and move all entities from humanity, the earth, and its atmosphere, the cosmic light from the great central sun will blaze with such intensity that perfection unbelievable will come forth almost instantly at the call of the students of the I Am. This is the instantaneous action we want you all to experience, and so you shall. The affirmations. 1. For groups, mankind, and the Earth. Mighty I Am Presence. Blessed Saint Germain, Jesus, Great Divine Director, Mighty Astrea, Archangel Michael, Oramasis, and the Lords of the Flame from Venus. Send thy angel Devas of the blue lightning of divine love to seize, bind, and remove from within and around all entities, carnate and discarnate, forever. If they be of human creation, annihilate them, their cause and effect this instant. If they be discarnate, take them out of the atmosphere of earth and to the feet of the ascended masters. Offer them Saint Germain's instruction of the mighty I Am Presence, and if they will accept it, teach them this mighty truth and prepare them so they can make their ascension in the next embodiment. If they will not accept it, keep them bound until they willingly and gladly serve the mighty I Am Presence and ascended masters in eternal love. This, which we decree now, we command for all students of the I Am, America, mankind, and the world. We thank thee, great host of light, it is done this instant, and we praise thee, thou precious I Am Presence forever. 2. Follow, always with, this. Mighty I Am Presence, great host of ascended masters, mighty legion of light, and great angelic host. Take charge and possession of the earth, its people, and all activity. Charge forth the mighty perfection of the I Am Presence and hold its active dominion here forever. 3. To clear the way for quick, mighty I Am Presence. Send your angel devas of the blue lightning of divine love before me. Sweep from my pathway all entities, carnate and discarnate. Keep it and all my activity free from them forever. If it be necessary, send legions of angels to produce your perfection in me and my world and hold it forever. 4. For quick individual action. Mighty I Am Presence and great host of ascended masters. Take quick command here. Seize, bind, and remove instantly all entities within and around Ah. Take possession of all and produce your perfection here forever. It is finished, and I thank you. Affirmation. Stand aside, thou powerless human creation, while I pass into the blazing light and eternal glory of my mighty I Am Presence, forever free in the ascended Master's almighty perfection of being, an everlasting sun of limitless shadowless light. 23. Evening Invocation. Shrine Auditorium, Los Angeles, Calif., July 4, 1936. Given by Mr. G. W. Ballard, HOU Universal, Mighty I Am Presence. Hold America, the jewel within thy heart, in thy wondrous embrace of light. Clothe America in the glory of thy light. Govern her directly and through mankind by thy mighty directing intelligence. Take command of all official places. Take command of the industries of America. Take command of the monetary activity and glorify all with thy mighty directing intelligence, with thy mighty governing presence, and fill all official places with those whom thou canst direct, who are strong enough to stand with thee, filled with thy courage and strength, dauntless before the face of humanity, ready to obey thy slightest direction, thus enabling the great perfection already planned to come quickly into action for the blessing of mankind. On this day, and henceforth see, O mighty universal I Am Presence, that we enter into thy eternal freedom of the law of God, that was established for the freedom of mankind in all their physical activity. Transcendent and glorified was that mighty activity 160 years ago, and fill this period with a complete eternal freedom for all mankind, thus enabling them to know their mighty I Am Presence so vividly, so real, so tangible, that they may call it into action to enable them to make their ascension and to have the eternal freedom of the universe. We call the fullness of that mighty activity to take command, govern America, and fill the world with the glory of its fullness, unto the perfection of those who serve the light, and even for those who do not. Again, I ask that every force on the face of the earth that does not serve the light be bound and held inactive, until all serve the light, whether they be carnate or discarnate, it matters not. O mighty power of the divine police of the universe, seize all destructive activities and bind them into the service of the light. We make the call for all the earth, and we have the authority. Thank you, great and blessed ones. Oramasis, Prince of the Fiery Element. Rogers Class, Los Angeles, California, Thursday evening, June 25, 1936. Prince Oramasis speaks. Oh, grateful are we from the higher octave of light, who come under the direction of the ascended masters, to find those of earth coming to a point in the consciousness and acknowledgement of their mighty I Am Presence, where they see, understand, and feel the necessity of the call to the ascended masters, legion of light, and great angelic host, whom the ascended masters direct. As Prince of the Fiery Element, I am also under the direction of the ascended masters, and at your call have come, again tonight at your second call. I responded, and shall lead the mighty legions of angels of blue lightning through the atmosphere of earth to cleanse, purify, and give the assistance to mankind that the thousands of students within human form are asking and calling for today. Our gratitude is boundless that you, children of earth, have at last come to realize this great requirement through the assistance of that great and mighty one, Saint Germain, and have begun to make your call for the release not only of the energy from your own mighty I Am Presence, but the outpouring of those great ones who have passed from human experience into the freedom of the ascended being. Having passed through everything that you, as beings in human form, experience, they are thoroughly able, have the authority, have the experience, have the freedom by which they can direct you and point the way, if you will permit them to do it. The glory of such an achievement is transcendent, and having come to a point of feeling the necessity for it, you actually are making yourselves a blazing sun of light wherever you move, that its radiance may flow forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper those you contact, although they might not yet understand the I Am or any of this teaching. This is how, in moving among mankind, feeling and flooding forth the glory and radiance of the presence, you bless really tremendously all with whom you come in contact. That is a transcendent privilege for everyone and impossible in the history of mankind except for those who understand and accept the intensification of the radiance of their mighty I Am. Mr. Ballard speaks. You must have noticed recently how many things are coming forth, and how great is the response from those great ones, who have all power to give the assistance that mankind requires. Again tonight, I had not the slightest idea of what was to be given, but at your call, the response came. The great ones wish you to know that you have their great assistance. This means the activity which our family and I too have called for, as the old saying goes, nigh on to 2 years. Do you not see, loved ones, how it never fails? The light of God really never fails, and you are that light. In your acknowledgement of your I Am presence as the presence beating your heart, you do really become that light of God that never fails. Oh, will you not realize that, dear hearts? In any human, limiting appearance that comes before you, realize instantly, this human appearance is not true. It has no power in my world. Therefore, dismiss it. Then, in the glorious feeling of your mighty I Am presence, continue to issue your decrees for freedom. As the call of these beloved students all over America is now bringing its response, and as this special instruction has again been brought to your attention tonight, realize that no call ever fails to be answered. As your intensification grows, more quickly comes the response from those great beings who are able to give the assistance, fulfill your decrees, or shall I say, amplify them to the degree of fulfillment quickly. Oh, it is wonderful, it is marvelous to find such a response. As each one gives his attention so earnestly to the presence, the response will come more and more quickly, more and more powerfully, until at every call there shall flood down this mighty response with the speed of thought to fulfill the requirements of the children of light. No longer shall the children of the I Am be called children of the earth, but children of the light. I thank you, O mighty Oramasis, great angelic host, in the fullness of the love of my mighty I Am presence, that more and more powerfully, more and more quickly comes the response from the great ascended masters, the legion of light, the great angelic host, and those great beings, the mighty divine director, the silent watcher, Cyclopia, Arcturus, and the great ones from Venus. As tonight has come the response from those great ones, so on the 1st of July will there come forth a mighty radiance from the Kumaras, and that other group that come to minister from Venus. Oh, dear hearts, please let nothing or no one ever cause you to feel that this can be imagination, for the great ones do actually come in their tangible forms to minister to the children of earth. The Kumaras have ministered so long, yet the ignorance of mankind dares to say or even feels that this cannot be true. Oh, let that ignorance of mankind be swept from the face of the earth and replaced by the intelligence of the mighty I Am presence, that all the earth may know and feel the glory and the radiance of those ascended beings, who do come at mankind's every call, if individuals will but make it. I thank you. Description of Oramasis, Prince of the Fiery Element. When Prince Oramasis manifests, he always comes surrounded by clouds of flame. He often wears a dainty crown of sparkling flame in crystal radiance, like white lightning. This radiance many times surrounds his body and flows out beyond it, as if the flames came forth from the white lightning, pouring out the violet flames which consume all impurities wherever he passes by. He carries the rod of white lightning. It is really his scepter of authority, and through which he draws the condensation of the electronic force that he directs into special conditions to produce perfection. Everything about him is the activity of the flame, and he is magnificent to behold, radiating always an intense feeling of the victory and majesty of divine love as the only acting presence and power. When the student begins to give definite recognition to the activity of the violet-consuming flame, the Prince Oramasis can give very great assistance if the student will give him conscious recognition and love. As Prince of the fiery element, he often projects an intense golden flame of divine love, through which the light within the heart of the student expands, and when he does this, a feeling of the most ecstatic peace fills the mind, body, and aura of anyone to whom he directs it. May all students give the Prince Oramasis conscious recognition, love, and gratitude to everyone's eternal blessing and freedom. Blessed ones, in your study groups, we ask every one of you to know all the teaching in unveiled mysteries, the magic presence, the I Am, discourses, the adorations and affirmations, and the voice of the I Am so thoroughly that every question any student or person asks, you will be able to answer instantly by an affirmation, quotation, or direction which is contained within those books. For the answer to anything and everything that any individual or all the individuals on earth can ask is given in them, or the way to obtain it is explained. All group leaders and those who go out to teach this work should know unmistakably that they cannot improve upon the Ascended Master's instruction and should not try to interpret their teaching to anyone. The Ascended Masters have already done that in the books themselves.
Those who give this work forth should read the instruction in the books to the students, asking them to memorize the affirmations.
Then, at each group meeting, have all stand, speak the decrees forth together, and visualize the light rays which release the special activities required for America, mankind, and the earth. This is what service to the light means. It is the service all mankind should be taught to give for the freedom of the individual as well as the mass, because only when the individual consciously, intentionally, and definitely gives of himself by making the call to the mighty I Am presence for the freedom of all mankind can he possibly obtain his own freedom. All study groups of this Ascended Master activity are for the purpose of teaching individuals everywhere how to call forth the greatest freedom for all humanity in the wisest and most powerful way, and to provide the opportunity to practice making the call and pouring out the love and light that must expand through this service if they are to gain their own freedom. No student or person on earth can have his own freedom and the victory of the ascension until he does this, for it is the only way the Ascended Masters have attained their freedom and mastery. All who will do this and give in the same way will automatically free themselves and gain their ascension also. Affirmation. To all disturbing conditions say, "You have no power. Get out of my being and world forever. The mighty I Am presence of infinity is in full possession here, right now, and I know it, bringing Ascended Master perfection into manifestation instantly and keeping it forever self-sustained." 33. Blessed young people of America, come with us into the most thrilling adventure of all your lives and experience now the greatest feeling of freedom and ecstasy, which will be yours in using the following activity. Mighty I Am presence, great host of Ascended Masters, mighty legion of light, and great angelic host. Send your legions of angels of the blue lightning to seize, bind and hold inactive all discordant, destructive, and human feelings, qualities, forces, persons, places, conditions, and things in my being and world, and all I contact forever, and keep them inactive, until they willingly, gladly, and lovingly surrender all to the light of God that never fails, and serve the mighty I Am presence and the Ascended Masters in eternal love, gratitude, and humble obedience. Use this not only
Use this dynamically at least 3 times a day or oftener to stop all resistance and opposition in you and your world, that you may have the full freedom and mastery.
Use this not only in and for yourself,
And mastery which the ascended masters are waiting to release to you all now.
Use this not only in and for yourselves, but in and for your associates and instructors in all educational activities, to prevent them pouring at you the misinformation that is being taught in nearly all educational channels today. This will protect you from human suggestions driven at you by those who do not know the truth and who do not serve the light. They unfortunately have injected themselves into the educational fabric of our modern experience and are a menace to themselves and all mankind. You can render no greater service to yourselves and humanity than to use this with great determination, feeling, and power, and we shall do it for you until you are eternally free in your ascension. I am Reading Rooms of the Saint Germain Teaching. Los Angeles, California. 7th and O Live Streets, Trans-America Building, Room 926. Philadelphia, PANSYLVANIA, 1325 Spruce Street. At the home of the I Am in Philadelphia, the door will always be open with love to the students and their friends. San Diego, California, 6th and Broadway, Bank of America Building, Room 314. Seattle, WASHINGTON, 613 Orpheum Building. Pasadena at AC, California, 301 Citizens Bank Building, Colorado and Marengo. Glendale, California, Masonic Temple, 6th floor. Phone Kenwood 0052. Home of the Voice of the I Am, 2600 Hoover Street, Los Angeles, California. Future appearances of the messengers. San Francisco, California. Scottish Rite Auditorium, Sutter and Van Ness Streets, Friday, August 21st to Sunday, August 30th, inclusive. Kansas City, Missouri. Ivanhoe Masonic Temple, Linwood and Park Ave, September 21 to 27, inclusive. St. Louis, Missouri. Alhambra Grotto, Grand Boulevard and Magnolia Street, October 5th to 11th, inclusive. During October and November, the messengers will be in Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Detroit. Dates and locations will be given later. Protection of our copyrights. We hereby notify all readers and individuals everywhere that everything in the books of the Saint Germain series, The Voice of the I Am, our public lectures, affirmations, and instructions given to group leaders is covered by our copyrights with all rights reserved, including foreign translations. This means we will not allow this instruction and information to be deleted, distorted, adulterated, or diluted for any purpose whatsoever, and we shall protect them fully. We are determined that this gift of light, truth, and freedom from the ascended masters to mankind shall be protected and kept pure, true, and unchanged forever, that mankind may receive its eternal freedom and the greatest possible blessing. We shall use our full power and our full right to maintain complete protection at all times. Saint Germain Press and Mr. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard.